Hey guys, and welcome to Nikki Reviews. This is my first review video of my new channel, and today I am reviewing the book Steampunk, an anthology of fantastically rich and strange stories by Kelly Link and Gavin J. Grant. Well, I should say edited by. So this book, as you can probably tell, is absolutely gorgeous. It is a hardcover copy and it cost about $25 here in Australia, and it says on the back that it's about $23 in America, and that's for the hard copy, but prices may vary depending on where you purchase it. So this book is absolutely amazing, and I chose to do this as my first review because it really made me enjoy short stories for the first time in forever. So what is this book about? Well, from the title and the massive word steampunk on the front, you can probably tell that it's got something to do with the world of steampunk. And if you guessed that, you're absolutely correct. Hopefully you can see this. It's a collection of authors and various short stories, all based in a steampunk world, and it's fabulous. Now, I don't want you guys getting confused that it's like different authors but all based in the exact same world, because you'd be completely wrong, and in my opinion it would disappoint the story. But it's just different authors' versions of what they think a dystopian or just a world run in the steampunk culture would be like. So let's get started on reviewing the book. First, the appearance. This is the spine, this is the front, and this is the back. And then we get to the first story. Okay, so I just had to stop the recording because I just made a really derpy mistake and I didn't even realise it. But the first author for the first story in this book's name is Cassandra Clare, and I literally just remembered that she's the author of the City of Bones and the Mortal Instruments series. So if you like Cassandra Clare, she's in this book and this is her story. Some fortunate future day, and that is a really cool story. Now, I'm not sure if I really want to review each and every chapter, maybe in another video, but I'll tell you about the first story, which is Cassandra Clare's, and I'll try to avoid spoilers. Pretty much it's about this young girl that lives in this house on a mansion, and it's all really dark and gloomy, and her father is away at the war, and he's like really smart, and he built her these two dolls that have like human personalities, and they're her only friends, and she has like various robots that work around the house for gardening and cooking, but they're pretty shabby and don't work very well. And one day she's in her gloomy garden when she finds a soldier from one of the fallen airships, and she takes him in and she cleans him up and she falls in love with him, and she thinks that it's like a romance story from one of her books, that he's going to fall in love with her because she rescued him, and there's just like a whole mess, and there's time travelling and do-overs, and it's a really cool story and it's amazing. Also in this book, it's not just words and writing, which we all love, but there's also short comic strips, and various authors have various ways of doing things, and each and every one is really cool. And sometimes I just read this and I think, where the hell did you get these ideas from, because they're pretty friggin' amazing. The book has a total of about 420 pages, and each short story goes from anywhere between 25 to 50 pages each. So they vary depending on how long they are. But the comic books, the comic versions, only have about 10 to 15 pages depending on the story. I would rate this book about a 7 out of 10. The only reason I give it a lowish number is because it's short stories, and every time you read one you can fall into the world so easily, and the writing is so incredibly beautiful, it matches the cover. And despite all the authors having different writing styles and different visions in their head, it's all laced together so beautifully, and I have to say the editors have done a really fabulous job picking out these authors and editing their work together. So good job guys, and good job authors. Now, onto the rating. The reason why is because of all of its fabulousness. Every time you start reading a story, as soon as it ends, you're really disappointed, and since they're short stories, that happens quite quickly, and it can be really disappointing. So I'd actually love to see each and every story turned into a full-length novel because it's absolutely amazing. I also have to give props to each and every author because their writing is so good that you fall into the story as soon as you read it, and you can picture the world around you just like you're standing in the middle of one of the stone paved streets, or in the cottage, or in the orphanages, or in the airships, or in whatever adventure you're reading about. You can visualize it as you read, and that to me literally proves you're a great author. So I highly suggest buying this book because you will not be disappointed, and it's one of the best things you can have in your collection. And you'll come back to it over and over again because you just have to keep reading. That is how good and how much I love this book. I'd have to say, even though the price seems quite extravagant, any book lover knows that books are not cheap, but for the stories that they take you on, it's worth every single penny, dollar, cent, pound, whatever your currency is. This book is seriously worth it, and it's hardcover or no cover in my opinion, because this is one book that you just, an e-reader or a paperback cannot compare to. You need a hardcover. So thank you all for watching, and I hope this review was somewhat helpful if you are looking into this book. Thank you and enjoy.